Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm Tim and this is Run Tall. If you're brand new here, welcome to the Run Tall family. I'm really glad that you are here and you found us on YouTube. Now I post running videos all the time. I post them every day, running shoe reviews, comparisons, and shoe battles. But I also like to post a lot of other videos related to running as well, like training and gear. So if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. On today's video, I'm going to be reviewing and taking a real close look at the New Balance SuperComp Trainer version 2. Now before I get started, I do want to just make a couple of notes. And the first one is, I didn't run in the first version of the shoe, so I have no basis of comparison to version 1. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because all of my thoughts are going to be based solely on the merits of version 2. And I did buy these with my own money, so there's no chance for bias. And no one has an opportunity to preview my thoughts before I share them with you first here on YouTube. No one's paying me to make the video and no one's telling me what to say. All right, having said that, let's get into it. Now these do retail for $180 US. That's a lot of money for a daily trainer. So are they worth it? Well, stick around because that's what we're going to find out today. Now these are a pretty lightweight daily trainer. Now they came in on my scales at 9.2 ounces for a US men's size 9. Now that's about 261 grams. Now I did see on Running Warehouse's website, they have the weight listed as like 9.7 ounces. So again, on my scales, they came in a little bit lighter than that. And I double checked it several times. So I think it's pretty accurate. 9.2 ounces for a US men's size 9. All right, so let's just get right into the shoe review. Okay, now it has an engineered mesh upper. It's very lightweight, it's breathable. One of the things I will say about the fit, and you can see how the laces are somewhat snugged up there on the lace enclosure system. I did have to pull those laces in a bit to get locked in and secure across the midfoot. But having said that, that's not uncommon for me. So I have a somewhat more narrow foot. I am flat-footed, so I don't take up a lot of volume in uppers typically anyway. So for me, this did a really good job. It's pretty much right on point for what I would expect from an upper on a daily trainer for me. These also do come in a wide version. So if you have wider feet, it gives you a bit of an option there, but don't let that scare you off because that's normal for me. If you have a more standard size foot that takes up a typical amount of volume in the shoe, I don't think that you'll have any kind of issues at all there. I was able to get nice and secure across the midfoot section of the shoe. I didn't have any issues getting locked in and secure. Now for me, I did feel like I had plenty of room up in the toe box for me to be able to splay my toes. I didn't have any comfort issues, no hot spots, no rubbing, on my toes anywhere. The comfort is really good. It is exactly what you would want out of a daily trainer for me. There's some plastic overlays, and you can see those written there in the New Balance. Now that is lettering that's stuck on the outside of the upper material. I don't particularly like that. I'd much prefer that it wasn't these stuck-on letters. I don't know. Maybe those are going to fall off at some point. I feel like anytime that they stick letters on any kind of product, eventually it does fall off. But right now, it looks pretty sharp. I do like the way that these look. Aesthetically, I think these look really, really sharp. I like the colorway. Pretty much like everything about them. I think that they're just really nice, really sharp-looking shoe. Okay, so let's talk about the padding around the heel collar, since we're still on this, on the upper part of it. Lots of padding. It's a pretty traditional type of padding as well. So you got plenty up around the heel collar, plenty back in the heel tab. You got a nice area for your Achilles to rest in that's padded. Didn't, again, have any hot spots around the heel area either. I didn't have any heel lift. It does have a slight Achilles heel flare there, kind of that elf style that we've seen in many, many shoes. I think that's a trend that's going to continue on for a while anyway, and you can kind of use that to help get your shoes on should you need to do that. So overall, I would say that the upper is very breathable. It feels lightweight on foot. Had plenty of airflow. I did have these out on a run yesterday where I got poured on, and my feet did get a little bit damp, but they would in any shoe. Okay, so let's take a look at the lace enclosure system and the tongue. Now, this is a really standard lace enclosure system here. You can see that there's absolutely no wow factor. I appreciate that. I I'm getting frustrated at times with shoe companies that try to get cute with that lace enclosure system and try to do something unusual to maybe get the shoe to stand out a little bit more. But there's really no need for that. This system works. It's tried and true, and I've never had any issues with a standard lace enclosure system. So I appreciate the New Balance keeping it simple. Now the tongue is relatively thin, as you can see, but I didn't have any issues feeling the laces cutting across the top of my midfoot, even cinching them down pretty good. I did run with a runner's knot when I've had these out on different workouts, and you can see just how thin the tongue is there, but it's also gusseted, and I do appreciate that because that just holds it in place. It makes it super comfortable. And I think overall, I really like the comfort. I just really enjoy the comfort of this upper. I think New Balance did a really good job creating a daily trainer that you enjoy picking up on a daily basis. Okay, so let's take a look at the midsole. Now, of course, they have their fuel cell foam here, and then embedded within that fuel cell foam, they have this Energy Arc carbon plate that gives you that little extra oomph on your runs, and they have a lot of it. They have a lot of that fuel cell foam. They have 40 millimeters in the heel and 34 up into forefoot, so they have a 6 millimeter offset from the heel to the toe. I midfoot strike, and I found that when I was landing right there on that metatarsal head, it was giving me a nice pop off the toe. I wouldn't say that it's super aggressive, but it feels really nice and helping keep your legs turned over. Now, I've used this shoe in a lot of different ways already. I've only had it about a week or so, and I've got 44 miles in them at this point, so it was really easy and quick to run miles up on these because I just wanted to keep reaching for them. Now, I am training for both the Chicago and New York Marathon, and the training block that I'm running now emphasizes pretty heavily recovery run and easy run. And this is a great shoe to do that with. That pop that you get from that carbon fiber plate, along with the squishiness of the foam, it just feels terrific. My legs, even when my legs are tired and feeling beat up, it's pretty easy to keep moving through my gait cycle. It just feels effortless. But if you want to pick up the pace, so one of the workouts that I've had these out on, I've had it out on this style of a workout twice, is somewhat of a progression run. So you start out and you're running easy for 20 minutes, and then you pick up the pace for another 20 minutes, and then you end the workout running 20 minutes at threshold. So a little over an hour with that 10 minutes to cool down afterwards. I found it really easy to pick that pace up when I wanted to run at threshold for that last 20 minutes of the workout. And that's after having already put in 40 minutes ahead of time. So I think this shoe is just an absolute great daily trainer that you can log a lot of miles on and feel really comfortable doing it. Okay, so let's take a look at the outsole. Now here they've got lots of rubber, and I can attest to the fact that these do have a good grip. Like I said, I had these out, it was a downpour at one point yesterday, and these stuck to the road and to the pavement really well. And that was blacktop pavement as well as some concrete sidewalks, and I just thought it did a really terrific job. And they've got plenty of it to be able to protect all that fuel cell foam that you have underfoot. So I think this shoe is going to be a really durable daily training option. So it's going to be one that you're likely going to want to pick up a lot like I'd have. And that's a good thing because I'm hoping to get 300 plus miles in these. That would be pretty awesome. I feel like I would be getting my $180 worth out of that if they did. And so let's take a look at the geometry here, and you can see that they've got a pretty deep groove that runs from the heel all the way up through to basically where you're toeing off. I think that also gives you a bit more of a trampoline effect somewhat and a bit more squish. Now, it's not all butterflies and rainbows here, because one of the things that has, I would say, a bit annoying at times is because that Energy Arc carbon fiber plate is exposed. Some of the areas that I run have some gravel in them, and the stones and so on, it just grates on that carbon plate, and you can feel it and hear it when you're running, and you can hear that grinding sound against that plate, and it makes me a little bit nervous, like it's going to somehow crack or bust the plate. Now, I haven't had that experience, but that's just the feeling I get when I hear that crunching sound underfoot. Okay, and the other thing that I would say about these is that they're loud. They're really loud to run in. So if that's an irritant of yours and you don't like to hear your own feet hitting the pavement, these might not be the best shoe for you, because every time I'd hit the ground, and I'll play a clip of it here so that you can hear some of the footage when I'm out on the run, but you can definitely hear that patter of my feet hitting the ground as I move through my gait cycle. So they are a bit noisy underfoot. Overall, I'm really enjoying the SuperComp Trainer V2. I do think that they're a little bit highly priced at $180 US, because there are other daily trainer options out there that are coming in $20 less that also have some assistance in them. So these, it's not unique to having a carbon fiber plate in a daily trainer like this. I've heard the term being tossed around. I think Super Trainer. I see that on Running Warehouse's website. Actually, in the description of the shoe, they call it a Super Trainer. And I've heard Believe in the Run use that term as well. So, yes, they are. They're a Super Trainer. They feel good. They enable you to move through your gait pretty easily, log lots of miles, keep your legs turning over. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Run tall, Tim.